Yeah. Sorry. Hello everyone. Today me and my teammate Saibhaskar are going to explain about the digital signing emails using PGP protocol to eradicate email spoofing. Email spoofing is the act of sending an email that appears to be a form of different sender than the actual sender. This is often done for malicious purpose, such as phishing or spreading the malware. Spoofed emails can be created using a variety of techniques, including forging the email header information or using the fraudulent email address. In some cases, the sender may also use a compromised email account to send the spoofed email, making it appear more legitimate. To protect against email spoofing, it is important to use a stronger password and to avoid clicking on links or opening attachments in email from unknown or suspicious senders. Additionally, email providers often have built-in spam filters and authentication protocols such as DMARC that can help detect and block spoofing emails. The most spoofers send emails to several addresses in manner like phishing and shows up a representative business organizations and legal authorities by using official login information and organizations icons. They send emails with malicious software infected attachments and links to fraudulent or malicious websites. They frequently establish banking websites like credit card information, bank account details, and will attach that website link in the spoofing email. And the second slide contains the problem statement. Yeah. The second slide, the cyber attacker sends the email to the victim, predicting that it is from an MX support team. Here, the attacker sends the victim with a fake account transaction that occurred with a credit card and attaches a fake login page to the email created. Looking at the fraudulent transaction, the victim will fall into a trap of the attacker and clicks in the login page provided in the email. Uh, Now, after clicking the login information, the attacker will take all the logs which contains the login details and the confidential information of the victim, which they use further for some attacks to for some attacks. And the third slide contains the historical description of the problem statement. Like here we have attacker and victim. The attacker is sending and spoofing email with the login link to gain the credit card information and personal details of the victim. When the victim finds that it is a fraudulent transaction, then he gets scared and he opens the login link. When he opens the login link, the attacker collects all the logs that contains the personal information and the banking information. And the attacker will receive the credit card data and use it for fraudulent attacks. Yeah, and the next will be explained by my teammate Sai.
So I'll be giving a demo of the attack scenario now. So basically, this is the code that we have written to send a spoofing email impersonating this email address here. So I have used javax.mail API to send the emails. So the sender's email address here is mxsupport@outlook.com. Note that it looks similar to the actual MX support email address. And the receiver's email address in this case is my own email address for the demo purpose. Now here I have set up the properties that are required for SMTP server, the Outlook's SMTP server, and the port here is 587, which is basically the port for SMTP servers. Now here I have used this my message class, which is basically coming from this Java XMail API. So this is the format that we use to send emails. The format we use is my message. So I have set the from address here, and I have set the display name as MX support. So that I'll be impersonating the MX support email address. Next, I have set the recipients and the subject. Now comes the body. Here I have sent a email to this person here. And the content of the email says there is a fraudulent transaction happened on your credit card, and if you want to block the card, then you have to log into so and so URL. So when the end user navigates to this URL, it looks exactly like the Amex credit card portal, so that the end user will enter his own credentials. Uh, Note that we also have added an image here. Uh, this image is the Amex's original logo, so that it helps us to deceive the end user. So let's run this code and send the email. Okay, the email is sent. Now that should be coming here as the email that I'm seeing here. So once you open the email, we have deliberately highlighted some stuff here. The terms like fraudulent transaction and the amount of transaction, and there is a warning message saying that the account will be permanently suspended within the next 24 hours if the user doesn't take any action. So that we are doing all this so that the end user doesn't concentrate on the sender's email address here. And we have also added the logo of MX credit card. So this is also to deceive the user. So once the end user clicks on this link, there will be a web page that opens, and the page looks exactly like MX's portal, and then the end user enters his credentials, and basically he's given away his credentials. So there is a way to solve this problem. Uh, what Amex can do to stop these attacks is they can maintain a private public key pair, and then they can distribute that public key to all the users. Now, whenever Amex wants to send an email to the users, they will send a digitally signed email. Uh, by digitally signing, I mean they will use their private key to encrypt the email, and they will use the PGP protocol. When the receiver receives the email, basically he uses email clients like Outlook or Gmail. Then the Outlook client will uh, verify the message using Amex's public key that we have received earlier. So this way we can be sure that it is in fact Amex that has sent the email. So now in the other scenario, when an attacker tries to do the same, when the attacker tries to send an email impersonating Amex, there won't be any signature on the email, or if there is any signature, that won't be verified by the email client that the end user is using, because they will be using Amex's public key, which doesn't match with the private key that the attacker is using. So this way they can find out if they can find out the legitimacy of the email. So the work to be continued is we have to create a public private key pair to simulate this flow here. We have to create the public private keys, and we have to develop the code that will send a digitally signed email. And then once we do that, we have to analyze the digital signature that is generated using the PGP protocol. Now, once the end user receives it in the Outlook email client, so the Outlook email client, it tries to verify the sender, verify the email that it received, and if it is in fact Amex that has sent it, then it will show in the UI that the email is coming from a legitimate sender. So that is the demonstration that also we will do for the final project. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you.